Hi guys, and welcome back to the Brunch Club by Buella with me, Molly and Gemma. Today's hot topic is all about aesthetics, cosmetics and procedures going right and going wrong. So we thought, let's get one of the best guests on first, and it's the co-host, John Garrity.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. How was your night last night?
I'm hungover. Okay. A wee tiny bit hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
That's all right. That's all right. So, Jem, first of all, let's get into the thick of it.
Okay.
What have you had done?
So I have had loads of superficial procedures done. So I use a company called Unique, who are in the same building as Buella, who I really rate. They're fantastic. Mm-hmm. I've also had major surgery, which was having my breast implants put in and then removed. So yeah, I've had a few bits and pieces done. Did I just say bits and pieces?
I've been told I'm not allowed to sing. But how old was you when you first had your first procedure?
So I was 27 when I had my breast implants put in, and they turned out to be the PIPs, which were like the faulty implants. So 2 years later, I literally just woke up after having emergency surgery with a doctor saying, we took your implants out, and I was like, oh no.
Was you like, oh, where are they?
And he said, and we haven't put anything back in, which I was just horrified at. But now in hindsight, I think obviously he knew what he was doing, and it was the best decision not to put anything back in. I then went on to make a documentary for BBC Three, travelled all over the world talking about
the world, really.
Sorry.
Where did you actually travel? London. London. I travelled the world.
Sorry, I travelled all over the UK speaking to women who have had breast implants and the reasons why they have had them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. How much was they?
So to have the breast implants put in was £5,000. Mm-hmm. So I went to someone who was really well known for working on celebrities, and it turned out it was still, really dodgy job. So going to the person who's charging the most, isn't necessarily the best thing to do.
Yeah.
To have them removed, and all the surgery that happened, it was really, really bad surgery because the implant had ruptured, and he had to keep me under general anaesthetic for longer and stuff, and that was £11,000. It was really, really serious. Like if I had have went on to have children, I couldn't have breastfed or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there any like psychological effects after that? Did you have, I don't know.
I think looking back, I wouldn't have had the implants put. If I could change it, I wouldn't have had them put in, obviously. I think that I was just really unhappy with the shape of my boobs, not really the size. So I was advised wrong. I should have been advised to fix what I didn't like without an implant. So if I could go back, I definitely wouldn't have the implants put in.
Yeah. What else? So you're saying about having your boobs done. What else have you had done properly, and what haven't you had done?
Well, I know, I just want to get this out there because I'm asked every single day about my bum, and I'm not going to come on my podcast and lie. I do not have bum implants. I've never had anything injected into my bum. The bum's real.
You said that you got your boobs done because you didn't like the shape. Why have you got everything else done?
I think we just live in an era that we're obsessed with how we look, and that is true. We are obsessed with how we look, and we're always comparing ourselves to people on Instagram and perfect pictures. And I hate to even say the word Kim Kardashian, but I mean, she sets the standard for everybody, and everyone just follows suit. And of course I want it to keep young as long as possible and look young as long as I can.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have any major surgery.
Yeah.
After what happened with my boobs, I don't think I would ever do that.
No. Do you think that you I was speaking to him, we was talking about this the other day, or literally yesterday over the wine. But when you had all your procedures done, I was saying to you, I asked you when they were, and you said it was post Miss GB 2008. So I said to you, is it not mad to think that everyone thought you was the most beautiful before you'd had any work done in terms of like winning all of that, and then you chose to have your teeth done, your boobs done, the, what way did we call it, the superficial stuff done post that.
Yeah.
So that's why is that, you think?
I think when I won the competition, then
what competition was it?
Apparently I say Miss Great Britain 2008 a lot, so I think when I won the competition, all of a sudden you're doing FHM, Loaded Magazine, OK Magazine, and you're constantly ridiculing pictures of yourself, like you see yourself a lot more, and back then, you know, online trolling was just happening as well, so people were like, oh, she would really need to, you know, fix that or whatever, and those things do stick with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be interviewing a nurse later on in this episode, but even going to get Botox or get fillers or whatever, you know, they have a duty of care not to point out other things that are wrong with you.
Yeah.
So I remember going to see about getting my teeth done, and they were like, well...
Is this the story in London?
Yeah, and they were like, well, yeah, we can fix the teeth, but, you know, what about this, and this? And I think that's just so dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I remember we had this conversation where you literally went to get your teeth done, and then the doctor was like, well, why don't you fix that and fix that and fix that? And you said to me, like, I was 29, imagine an 18-year-old going in, like, trying to get fixed, and then someone's pointing out flaws that you didn't even know you had, and they're putting it on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's mad, isn't it?
It's just finding a good doctor with morals, I think, that isn't just all about money.
Where's the line that you'd draw to
all over me? The surgeon line all over. I don't know, I would never say never, because you just can't. At the minute, I'm pretty happy. I work out with my personal trainer, Ian Young. I work out. And, you know, I'm very lucky to be in a position where people would give me free treatments to try. So I've tried a treatment called Cabela.
What does that do for those who don't know?
So Cabela is just been legalised in the UK. So it dissolves fat. Yeah. So it's injections that... and that's what's so funny. People are like, "Have you got fat put into your bum?" I'm like, "No, I'm trying to get the injections to dissolve it."
I'm gonna leave the interview on a last question, and it would be, what would you tell people who are looking at getting it done?
What?
Aesthetics or plastic surgery or cosmetics?
Really research, because as I said before, a couple of questions ago, people who are charging the most, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best. People who are charging the least, that does mean that they're the worst. So, so
what do you think everyone who's going to Turkey, or, because I was saying to you the other day when we was, I'm a bit younger than you, but when we was growing up, everyone would go to Poland or Eastern Europe to go and get stuff done. And now everyone's like flying to Turkey. I've got like 4 members of my family who's literally had teeth and all kinds done.
Well, one thing I would say about Turkey is they're at the top of their game. Like, even if I wanted to get maybe new teeth or whatever, I would definitely still go to Turkey. I think that they're way ahead of the UK when it comes to that. So it wouldn't be a money thing. It would be, for me, it would be, I want to go to the best people. And at the minute for teeth and hair transplants, I think Turkey are...
And they do it on the drip, so you want to pay it off monthly, go and get a canine once a month, can't you? Yeah. Well, Jem, thanks for coming on and sharing your story. I know that you're going to take the rest of the interviews now with our 2 amazing guests, so nice one, love.
Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back to the Brunch Club. Today we are talking all things plastic surgery, and we have our wonderful guest, Thomas.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Yeah. I was just interviewed there and it was really weird. So, Thomas, we're talking all things plastic surgery, and I know that you've had a few surgeries.
Yes, just a bit. Just a bit.
So, do you mind telling us what you've had done?
Well, where to start? Yeah, well, where to start? Well, obviously I've had loads of like, you know, aesthetics done. It first started, I think, when I was 19. Like, I know it's very young. That's how long it's gone on. I started when I was 19 and then it went on. But the past, like, 3 years, it's got a bit more, you know, pushed on because, you know, I train every day.
I know, you're
twice
never
a
at the
day. I'm
gym.
never at the gym. I have 2 PTs. I box during Monday to Friday. And then I lift weights at night time, you know. So it's not through a want of not a quick fix, you know. I put the work in. It's just have a bit of an eating problem, I think. You know, I went to the fridge last night and Mum says to me, get out of that fridge. Here's my... Shut up. She's like, you need a gastric band. I says, well, I need my eyes lasered first. I says, I'll have to wait. A gastric band. I was just like, oh, Jesus. So yeah, and like, and I think a lot of it stems too from Instagram, you know, when I run about with like incredibly beautiful people. I'm fed up being the one with the personality. I've had enough of it. I'm fed up being Queen Latifah. I've had enough. Okay. I never forget, I don't forget who it was. I think it was with Rebecca and somebody else. They were like, oh, you're so beautiful, beautiful. And they got to me and went, you like Queen Latifah? Who's my Queen Latifah? My Queen Latifah? I was like, get that book now. So I was
okay, so let's just... You're so funny. Let's bring it back. Let's list the surgeries that you've had done.
So we'll start. So I went last year to Turkey. I'd seen on Instagram that Danielle Lloyd had been to the surgeon, so I'd messaged her and she had messaged back and says, you know, she had, you know, great experience. So she had passed the number on. So I got in contact with him. It was a place called Comfort Zone in Turkey. And I'd seen they'd done a few other people along the line, you know, Katie Price had been there or whatever, so I was like, you know, it's a reputable company. I'd messaged them and I'd arranged to go. So I went over first to get my bum done. So in order to get the bum done, I didn't want implants. They removed fat, so it worked out well because there was always a bottom part of my stomach that I just
That's really hard to move anyway.
Just would not go, as I say, you know, training twice a day, you know, and obviously it was to do with that, but I just didn't want to eat fish all day, you know. Like I just didn't want to eat fish. Like, I'm sorry, but I was just like, no. So I went and you had to send your pictures off, and then you got a text about a week before, saying, you know, everything's all good to go, blah blah blah. So you arrive in Turkey and they pick you up from the airport, and then you go, the driver picks you up, and then you go to the villa and you meet Ozzy, you call him, so that's how I refer everybody. Ozzy will sort you out. And so he speaks to you, and then you go the next day, they pick you up and you go the next day and you see your surgeon, you have your consultation, and you know, they say what you're having done, and so basically...
So they take this bit of fat out and then put it into
your
the bum.
So basically they done 4 hours of liposuction, and they clean the fat, and then they replace the fat in your bum. So, well, that was the first time, right? So woke up, obviously I had the surgery, and didn't really know what to expect. You know, it's very easy. You go to sleep and you wake up and it's done, basically. And you were a bit, as I say, you know, I'm a bit of a prude and was like, oh, I don't know about this, you know. The next day I was, I think people talk about going to get done, but not about the aftercare, you know, about after you've had it done. Like, you do wake up and you're a bit like, what is going on? You know, you don't know who's around you. But Dean, my friend Dean, had come with me, and he was just like, I'm never coming back for you again, because obviously the sight of seeing somebody waking up and, you know, you don't know what's going on. And obviously the aftercare, like, you know, you have to wear a corset from head to toe, and, you know, you be swollen, you know, the bruising, so it's
painful?
not as painful. Yeah, it is painful. I do have a high pain threshold, but a few nights, like, I was up crying, you know. They do give you painkillers to look after you, and there's a nurse there 24 hours a day to look after you. You know, you're not left on your own devices by any means, but it is painful, like it is.
I just need you to list to me what you've had done, so our viewers can have an idea, and then we'll go in.
Right, so I've had the bum done. I've had 4 hours of liposuction. I've had a 6-pack put in. I've had the fat removed from the face. I've had my teeth done, and I've had a hair tattoo, and that's all this year. Okay,
and if you don't mind me asking, how much does all that...
Well, I'd probably be mortgage free by now, I'd say. Probably no mortgage. You know, like, you're talking like 7,000 a go, you know, each time, and you can add it up there, you know, how much you spend.
Were you insecure?
Oh, it stems totally insecure. Do you know what I mean? As I say, like, I'm fed up being the Queen Latifah of the group. I've had enough, you know, like, here's me. No, I'm just going. But it's not through, as I say. I can't. It's not. it is the easier option out, but it's not through hard work. It started from hard work. You know, I can't train any more than what I do. Like I was training twice a day, 7 days a week at 2 PTs.
I know. Well, I can fight for that
You
because
know, I couldn't do no
follow
more.
you.
So I do feel like it is. Some people's genetics are just made up that way, and I feel like if something annoys you that much, go and get it fixed. And if it is extreme. I'm very aware it's an extreme case. You know.
Do you feel happy with how you look now?
Well, yeah, I more so the second time because obviously lockdown came then. As I said, I've been twice. The lockdown came. I've been twice in 7 months, which is a lot. Like it's a lot to go. But I had just finished having my surgery, and it takes about a good 7 or 8 months before you see results. It's not like where you get your boobs done and you wake up and it's there. You be swole, you be bruised. It takes a while for your body to like go back, and before you see the results. But then lockdown happened. And I was just like, the gym's closed. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, oh my god, no, I can't deal with this. I was like, Aussie. I said, you may get me booked in. I started saying love handles. Do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously the fat doesn't come back in the same area once you get liposuction.
Is this for lipo?
Yes,
Right,
so once you have liposuction, the fat doesn't come back in the same area. So if you put weight on, it goes on under other places like your bum, your face, or in my case it was love handles. Because I couldn't get training. Because obviously lockdown, so I just rang Aussie. Aussie, see the minute that open, get down, book my flight, and I'll be over. So that's how it happened. 7 months between. So I went back out, and they are very good in the sense of, I was going back to get. I says, look, will you do the bum again? And they're like, no. They're like, the bum is big enough. You do that any bigger, and you're going to look like a girl. I was like, right,
Going to
okay.
look like Gemma Garrett.
But they did say, but we'll do the 6-pack instead. He's mate, but what about the face? So then they were.
I don't want to get off topic, but just really quickly, they put a 6-pack in.
So what they do is basically, it's not silicone. They don't put silicone in your stomach. So basically what they do is they do liposuction all again. So they take all the fat away, they clean it, and then they replace the fat in on top of your actual stomach muscle. So in sense, it's actually fat, but it's like a thin layer of fat that they place on top of your stomach muscle. So it just makes it more prominent.
Oh my goodness.
So
I didn't even know that you could do that.
There's so much that you can do now, and that's what I mean. It's not through the want of not wanting to spend the money. They don't do it. I don't know anywhere in London or anywhere like that it does bums or does 6-packs or does anything like that at all. And when I say going and getting it done, it's not to look like a cartoon or have an issue or anything. It's just to try and be the best version of yourself. I think really, Instagram has a big part to play in it. You know yourself.
I was just gonna. So my question is, do you think that we are obsessed with how we look?
Obsessed, yeah. Oh, most definitely, yeah.
And would you say you're obsessed with how you look?
Yeah, it is. Like, I'm very aware. My case is extreme, and it is very much, a bit of insecurity and a bit of trying to be the best that you can be, really. And Instagram doesn't help. You're flicking through it and you're seeing all these models, and then it doesn't help when you've got beautiful friends either, and, it's...
But Thomas, I've known you for a long time, and, you've always been very handsome, there's no way that you were not the good looking one of the group.
But when you look in the mirror and you see it, I think, what am I on? I think I'm on to the 3rd passport now. I think me and Dean went away the last time and they were like, it wasn't working. Why when you scan your passport and you're looking at it, wasn't working. And I was like, oh my god. So I have to go to the window.
This is like me with the filters.
Well, this is what happened. I went to get, it was like Cabela, but it wasn't. It made my face swell, right? So they injected this my stuff and my face swelled out like a hamster. But I forgot we were going on holiday and I needed an emergency passport. So I had to go down and get the passport. So you want to see the face? The cheeks were out, the hair. Here's me, I look like
I've had Cabela.
So you're at swole, right? So you're sitting there, I had to get the passport picture taken. So I look nothing like, and I just had a new one done. So I'm looking and they're like, looking at the window and looking at me like, that's not you. And he's me, look, Mr. Liz, I see trying to explain in another language, mister, that is me, let me through. So, yes, and I'm now on to the 3rd one.
Okay,
yeah,
let me ask this. Are you happy with how you look now? Is there any more surgery booked?
Well, I'm not getting no more. No, there's no more. If another lockdown comes, probably, but no, just the surgery's done for now. I think. I think it comes to a point where you have to say enough's enough. Where you go beyond that point. I've told my friends around me, they've well warned to say when enough's enough. So I feel like enough. Like having 2 surgeries, having all that. I'm like, how many fingers I've got? Because it is like, I've had the bum done. I've had 2 liposuctions. I've had a 6-pack done. I've had the fat removed from my face. I've had the thing.
Can we talk about that? So you had fat removed from your face?
Yes. So basically, I've always had a round face, and I kept putting fillers in my jawline to make it more square. But what happened is you keep going, and it keeps getting wider and wider and wider, so it looks like as if you've got a big face. Do you know what I mean? Like this square face.
How did they even take the fat out of your face?
So it's called buccal fat removal. So they basically like take a scalpel, I'd imagine so, and cut the inside out. So it gives you
more hollow
more
here?
hollow in there, yeah. And then because of that, they said they needed to put more fat on my cheekbones. So they then done a fat transfer to the cheekbones to, you know, create that sort of.
So I get filler on my cheekbones. So
it's the same thing as in filler, only they use fat because it stays then. But you do, this is the thing about when you do go and get plastic surgery or you get a fat transfer, 40% of it dies. So though, yes, a lot of people go and get it done and they love the results, but they need to be aware that it's 40% disappears. So you almost do need to go back twice.
Okay.
So that's why I was going back a second time, because I had lost a bit of volume in it, but it was quite normal to do that, but they had suggested no more.
And we'll have a wee picture of you before.
Yeah, I don't even and you know what, funny enough, somebody had sent it to me. I was like, who's that? They were like, that's you. Get that deleted. You know, like Facebook, like 10 years ago or something. I think it was when Rebecca had sent it to me. We used to wear a wig, swear the wig and everything was on the head.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just the many things.
And no more surgery for the time being.
For the time being, I wouldn't say never. You know, like as I say, yeah, for the time being, I would say no. I'm not going to say never, because obviously you get older and you probably want the odd wee facelift or something, you know, or something. I never said
you're way off that.
Way off that. It is very easy. I think you do go asleep and you wake up and it's done. Mm-hmm. So it can become very addictive in that sense.
Do you think you're addicted?
Well, people would probably say I was. I don't think that I am, but probably to have surgery done that many times in the 1 year, in 7 months, not even a year, in 7 months, you'd probably say you do would probably have an addiction to it. I don't know. What would you say?
I think that it is. You're right. You go to sleep, you wake up, and you know someone's drew a better version of yourself, and I think that in itself is addictive.
It's addictive,
of course.
It is. I think. I know I had spoke to my mum about it, funny enough, and she was like, Thomas, no more work done. That is it, done. She was terrified of me touching the face. She was like, leave the face alone. Just, you're very handsome, leave the face alone.
You are very handsome.
She was like, leave it. And I was just like, shush you. I said, you're not saying that when you need a facelift when you're 50, you know.
But I think that you are very striking, and like you've got beautiful eyes or whatever, and I would say like enough is enough now. No, well, I think you're pretty much perfect now. Well,
as I say, you know, it does take a year to see the proper results. So, you know, you have to wear a corset. I have a corset on now, funny enough. You have to wear it for a good 8 to 10 weeks, you know, after your surgery, just to keep the swelling down, because you can also, like, you see the 6-pack in the morning, and then by the evening, you know, you're swole again. You do, like, you know,
that's
it's
just the same as life. Like,
you know,
I wake up in the morning, I feel really skinny, and then, you know, it's not the same person in the mirror when I'm putting on my pajamas. I'm like, who's that?
But it is so funny how it is now, you know, like, people will say, it always used to be like, well, who are you training with now? Who's your personal trainer? That's who's your plastic surgeon. It's like, send the number on.
Do you think we've went too far?
I do, like, but it's beyond the point of no return. You know, I do get a lot of, like, things, you know, I had to take my comments off my Instagram, you know, a while, just because you're getting people writing underneath it, you know, just being trolls and nasty, like, you know, somebody I think wrote on, I do have a bit of humour with it, I do find it funny, some of it, somebody wrote under, you're like an advert for reused and recycled, you know, plastic. I was just like, you know, you get things like that, nasty. You know, and I do understand, you know, it is social media, you put yourself out there and you are going to get some things back, or as I say, you know, I am severely dyslexic and some words that I haven't seen before, you know, I'm like, what does that say? So I would like, somebody wrote underneath one of my comments and I had the copy and pasted to Google to see what it was. And I was just like, I've never seen that word before, and I put it up and then hit images and it come up, it was a gargoyle. I was like, oh my god. I was just like, they said to me, oh my god. And and I went on to him and, like, you know, he could have done with going to comfort zone himself, but wasn't that? It's another story.
Thomas,
but yeah.
I want to just say thank you so much for coming on telling your story, because I think so many people do have surgery and then don't own it. And you very much have just said this is, you know, well, I don't think you could lie because you look completely different.
Yeah, I do, you know, I do.
But, you know, I think when you own it,
It's a lot more. I just, I am sort of an open book, and I do own what I have. I've had quite a lot done, but like there's so many people I know that have texted me, have texted me and asked me, what you have done, or will you pass the number on, or I do get a lot of people too also ask me, well, what's Turkey like? I don't know. I see the airport and then say the surgery room. That is it. I'm like, that's the only reason I go to Turkey.
I want to ask you just a really personal question. Do you feel that you're trying to fix something that's deep inside on the outside?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because it's not that I don't even. I do it all for myself because not that, and nobody else sees it. Like, they'll tell you it's very rare I wouldn't even go out on a date. I couldn't get took for a fish supper. So it is all for me, because nobody else sees it,
But where do you think it just stems from? Do you hate who you are or what you look like?
Yeah, it stems from that. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and now that you're able, it is
that makes me
to
so
fix
sad.
it. It does stem from a time where you were a child and you were called, you were the fat one in the group and you were called fat, and you were bullied from you were in secondary school the whole way up. So it does stem from
we're
all
getting
that.
to the reason.
So it does, yes, stem a lot from there, and then you become friends with beautiful people and you feel a certain way.
But I think we've known each other for a good couple of years, and I just think you're such a wonderful person. You're very charismatic. I think that you were always beautiful, and so funny. And I just think that you don't see that.
I don't see that reflection. I've got a warm heart and a caring person. And anybody who's friends with me will say that I'm a friend for life. And a very would do anything for them. So it is. It's just I think it is stemming from a lot. That's why my mum says you're going to counselling anymore, this plastic surgery business, and you will go you need to go and speak to somebody. But yeah, I think it's just a closed book. You just think, oh, I'll be fine, just get on with it.
Well, you do look amazing.
Well, thanks. Well, that is the end result, but I think that is me. That plastic surgery is done.
Just for the time being, anyway, definitely, and just.
Or I'll be in like death becomes her,
I want to be her too.
I know. I like that. But singing "Turn Back Time" to me.
Thomas, thank you so much,
thanks for having me on, Gemma. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. You are the nurse at Unique Aesthetics.
That's right.
Yeah. And you have worked on my face and also Molly's face. So we have just interviewed my friend Thomas, and you sat in for that interview.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Big question to start.
Yep.
My thoughts, I had probably quite a lot of emotion actually listening to Thomas. I'm not a plastic surgeon. I deal in, as you referred to it, superficial aesthetics. But what really struck me was just the issues that we're facing with Instagram, living in the day we're living in, comparing ourselves to others, and going to the extreme where you're actually taking huge risks with your life to improve your self-image. So,
do you think that we have went too far?
As a society, probably, yeah. I mean, here in Northern Ireland, we're sort of lagging behind as well. Whenever you're thinking on a global scale, America, England, people are... Liverpool. I've lived in Liverpool.
Yeah, you want to walk down the street, the girls 17, 18 are like this.
Yeah, I know. So it's just... We're always a bit behind and a bit more taboo in Northern Ireland about lots of different things. So I think we're creeping up there though, and social media is making the world a much smaller place, and so it's pushing people into really extreme measures.
Do you think that surgeons and also nurses and people who are doing injectables are following a duty of care generally, or do you think that it's just all about the money?
Yeah, well, this was something I was thinking about sort of in preparation for coming here today, and there's no denying that there's a lot of money to be made in aesthetics, and in plastic surgery is another field, so I'm not going to comment on that, but there's a lot of money to be made in aesthetics, and we've talked about people turning up to a clinic to get, say for example, their lips done, and they're getting in the upsell. Oh, you got your lips done, but you also need X, Y, and Z done.
I think that's so bad.
It's so bad. And I mean, we actually have a member of staff in Unique who, prior to working here, she actually started off as a client here. So she came to see me and she said, oh, I think I need all this filler in her face, basically. An extremely beautiful and young girl in her 20s.
And she said, oh, I emailed someone and sent them a picture of myself, and they said, oh, you need my facial contour package, 6 mil of filler, and it'll be X amount of pounds. And I was like, oh my goodness, your face is actually beautiful. Your face is what other people are trying to achieve, and to put 6 mil of filler into your tiny little 20-something-year-old face would be horrendous. But that's, in my view, about money, you know, because filler costs a lot, the markup is a lot, and just throwing loads of filler into someone's face is not ethical. And, you know, Unique as a company are, you know, Gemma, like, ethically driven. It's not about just getting
Most
a quick
definitely.
sell, or, you know, it's about putting the client first.
Like,
and
we have a question here for you that
Yeah.
says, have you ever turned anyone away? I know the answer because I have been that
Yeah.
person. You know,
Yeah.
Anya has said, Gemma, definitely not, we're not going to do that when I've asked for certain things. And I think that's just so incredibly important, that morally and ethically that comes first before earning money.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, even if someone comes in with an idea that they want 6, 7, 8, 10 mil of filler, whatever it is, it's not about just doing that all in one go. It's like, right, let's take it back a step, because you have to take people on a journey. And so it's just doing things bit by bit and gradually, and seeing what an improvement you can make and enhancing someone's natural beauty. It's not about changing their entire face or
Yeah,
making them look
because
totally different.
a lot of people think, for me, it's just about trying to look young, but a lot of people are actually changing their facial
Yeah.
structure. I mean, I know as we age, you know, you lose volume here, and that's why you get some
Yeah.
volume put in there. But people are changing the putting filler in their nose, putting
Yeah.
filler in their lips, putting filler, you know, in their temples to change like the shape of the face, and that's just like, where do we draw the line with?
I think there are different types of customers in aesthetics, and so like you've talked about, as you age, you lose volume, the fat pads start to descend down your face, so you can create that bit of structure again with a bit of filler and, you know, anti-wrinkle injections. But younger clients that are coming in and they want the contoured look, I just want a contoured face. I think what people are missing is that, and I was having a conversation with Molly about this previously, is that we actually have a scientific ratio of beauty. It's called the golden ratio.
Okay.
And it applies to various different things, pieces of art, you know, very famous pieces of art, lots of beautiful things in the world, and it also applies to the face. So I think when people are thinking, give me the contour, give me the big cheeks, the big lips, the big chin, the big jaw, you know,
big
it's
everything.
I definitely
they're not
big.
they're not adhering to the golden ratio, which is beauty, you know. So as aesthetic practitioners, we have to be educating people when they come to us that, you know, this is what you're trying to achieve, really. This is what you'd want to hope for, to create that more beautiful ratio. And it's not just about 6 mil of filler, pay your money. If you can't afford it, pay it off. You know, it's just not ethical and not right, in my view.
Of
When,
course.
when you've done your courses and done things to be accredited to be able to do this, are there people who can be like cowboy aesthetic people as well? Do you know what I mean? Like, I imagine, and I know this, that in Liverpool, someone hasn't even done a course but can get hold of something and it's like, well, I'll just have a go here, bum bum bum,
Yeah.
lips like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can buy filler online. Botox or anti-wrinkle injections is different because it's a prescription only medicine, so really you shouldn't be able to get that. But people can buy their own filler and use a YouTube video to inject their own face, not knowing the risks by doing that. So yeah, it's scary, and people have done that and there's been awful consequences to that.
Like, I know quite a lot of people. Well, I know a lot of people. There's been a few cases over in Liverpool. I keep saying Liverpool, but that's where everyone's doing it, and they're just trying to quick buck. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Have you ever witnessed body dysmorphia in a client, and do you know it straight away? Can you see it straight away?
I don't think it's as black and white or as clear to say, oh, body dysmorphia. But as aesthetic practitioners, you have a moral obligation and a duty of care. You know, we're all doctors, nurses, dentists, so we're all in the medical profession, and we should be ethically driven. So a lot of it is a psychological assessment on how this person's presenting, and part of our medical questionnaire would be, is there evidence of body dysmorphia? And if there is, then it's about signposting these people to the right resources. You know, thinking about where poor self-image comes from and having those discussions. It's not just about filling a void with lots of cosmetic procedures. If it's deeper than that, then I would feel personally I would have a duty of care to explore that further and signpost them on.
So do you think someone who's had multiple surgeries within 1 year has slipped through the net somewhere, as in they haven't been directed, or it hasn't been flagged up like this is serious? A more serious problem, sorry.
Yeah, well, I think, having listened to the interview previously, I think there's even a self-recognition that this is a deeper rooted issue. We've talked about the influence of Instagram, and I've mentioned how I try to flood my Instagram feed with positivity. So it's positive self-image, body positivity, that kind of message. That's what I want to be seeing on my Instagram feed, not tons and tons of beautiful women and beautiful people who I am never really going to compare to. So why then flood my feed with that and make my self-worth lessen and lessen every day? So I think people have a responsibility as well about taking ownership of that and maybe altering what they're looking at every day.
I most definitely should do that.
Do you know, is it more when you're looking going towards Turkey and Poland and places to get stuff, they're not really doing that duty of care and doing that kind of thing, are they? It's more like Great Britain and America who maybe... I'm
not sure. Again, I think we've talked a lot about plastic surgery and big procedures like that, and that's nowhere near my field. So it's not to say that they're not being ethical, or maybe they do have their assessments and however they do that, it's fine and they go ahead with these procedures. I don't honestly know. And it's just, I suppose, with the people around you caring for you as well and calling you out if they're thinking, maybe you want to pull back there a bit.
Yeah. What's the youngest person that you've ever give Botox and fillers to?
I have never treated anyone under 25.
Really?
That's good, isn't it?
Because there's so, I have a young niece, but I also know young girls 18, 19, and they're saying for my 19th birthday I'm getting 2 mil of filler, and I just thought, I just think for your 19th birthday you should be getting a car, or 18th birthday whatever, and they're talking about changing their faces.
Yeah, I mean, there's some women that I treat whose daughters maybe are approaching their 18th birthday, and so they'll say, my daughter really wants to get her lips done for her birthday and she's coming 18, and really I want her to come to someone like you or like Unique, where she'll be treated well and she'll get a good job, not a botched job, and not too much filler. So there's that moral dilemma as well. Do you do it to keep these girls safe and try to keep them on the straight and narrow with regards to procedures, or do you say no? I mean, legally, if you're over 18,
you can have it done.
Yeah,
of course.
You can get it done.
It's just so scary that when you really say it out loud, 18-year-olds for their birthday are wanting to change their lips or their face, and when you say that out loud, what is happening?
I know. And even when you see young girls going to school, the way they're dressed, not dressed because they're wearing uniforms, but the way their hair and makeup are done for going to school, it's unbelievable. They're very skilled with makeup now, and they look incredible, yet that's not enough. It's right, well, when I turn 18, then I want to delve into aesthetics,
What would you say to anyone who is watching and is thinking about having something superficial done?
I think there's a place for it. I think, as you had previously said, do your research.
Go to Unique.
Go to Unique, yes, and have a proper in-depth consultation. Whenever you come to Unique, no matter who you've been treated by, there's a few nurses that work in the company, and we'll do a full facial analysis with you and talk you through what it is that you want, what you're trying to achieve, and if it's unrealistic, we'll pull back. We'll treat it like a journey rather than a
quick
one
fix.
thing fix all. Quick fix. Yeah. So.
Emma, thank you so much. When can I have something else done?
No.
No more for me, apparently. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
I never meant to cause you any sorrow, and I never meant to cause you any pain. Well, I only want to see you laughing for that one time. I only want to see you, baby, in the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Oh, purple rain, purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. And well, I only wanna see you, baby, neath the purple rain. Honey, I never want to be a weekend lover. Oh, no, I only wanted some kind of friend. Baby, you know, I could never steal you from another. And ain't it such a shame our friendship has to end? Purple rain, purple rain. Oh, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. And well, I only wanna see you, baby, neath the purple rain. Honey, I know times are changing. Oh, well, and we gotta reach out for somebody new, and that means you too. Well, you say you need a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. And won't you lead me back to the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. And purple rain, purple rain. Oh no, purple rain, purple rain. And well, I only wanna see you, baby, neath the purple rain.